And if you're wondering, yes, this is the thumbnail he's using to attempt to make me look less attractive, which is what these types always do. I mean, you've seen the ugly Daisy Ridley and Rachel Zegler thumbnails when these women are actually very beautiful. He's based this thumbnail on this image of me, and you can see the clear exaggeration of my features from this racist, obsessed little bitch.
Thank you. I was wondering if he was going to point it out.
Say why you hating on my energy. Say why you hating on my energy. I don't think you wanna be my enemy.
All right, let's go.
Someone sent the cynical grifter another super chat about me, and we're going to respond to that. But first, a bit of background. There's this loser that's been making video after video after video of yours truly called Sandman Cinema.
Another
disingenuous piece of shit parrot that basically clips my videos out of context in his weak attempts at making me look bad. I have thus far not responded to those videos because the guy is a low IQ moron that is seeking attention. I mean, his videos are hate videos, not criticism videos, and he's clearly just a right-wing loser that gets upset when people criticize right-wingers and their ideas. He's worth nobody's time, in other words. But he clipped a recent live stream where the cynical grifter responded to a question about me, because apparently this is a big moment for him. Finally, the cynical grifter has put Big Bad Birdman, who hurts my feelings all the time, in his place. Right?
Why did he use that as his thumbnail or his picture? Jeez. Okay. Again, I haven't watched this, so it's natural reaction, y'all. Let's go.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna cook everybody involved here.
I did like this super chat as well. All the smaller channels like the Birdman that are so sure you're running scared after all their takedown videos are hilarious, especially since you probably don't even know a lot of them exist. I just don't waste time with stuff like
that. So the super chat states that I, the Birdman, believe the drinker is running scared after my quote takedown end quote videos, and that drinker doesn't know I exist. So
drinker knows he exists. There's one thing about YouTube is that you could tell through your algorithm, and if you get tagged, because sometimes you will have somebody that will tag you, you know, you're at in a video that has nothing to do with you, they'll just tag you in it. Whether it's a tag to let you know that somebody talked about you or whatever, you'll get tagged. So trust and believe that, and I'm a smaller channel. You know, they probably think it's nothing but, you know, cockamamie block nonsense because the guy is black. That's it. He doesn't have any type of sensitivity to what we're doing around here. I mean, shoot. Well, why would I want to listen to a blog like that? He's not even at 5,000 subscribers. So they're not, because they're going to feel like they're stooping down to our level because we're not there yet. We don't have the subscriber counts. We're losers. We're not good. You know what's so crazy? It's not us. It's up to y'all that makes the channels. This is honest to God's truth. It's up to individual people that make these channels bigger or not. And the algorithm feeds you what you want. So if you're not watching me, watching the Birdman or whatever, you're watching Critical Drinker, you're going to get people that are like the Critical Drinker in your algorithm. Because if you like him, then you will most definitely like, what's her name, Ginger Balls or whatever her name is. You know, you'll like Mayor McNugget. You'll like Thumbhead. You'll like all that stuff. That's exactly how the algorithm feed. That's the reason why these hate channels get so many subscribers. Why? Because you could be able, the algorithm is feeding you what you want to watch. They're feeding you. So if you're going to watch Birdman, you're going to get channels like Birdman's. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get High CHD. You're going to get Utterly Nowhere. You're going to get all these other guys that are like, you might even come across my videos because they feed your algorithm. You know, when I was doing Jonathan Majors coverage, people were coming to my channel because their algorithm was feeding them Jonathan Majors news. So you were going to read it. You're going to run into Danny. You're going to run into Pam. You're going to run into Tina. You're going to run into Chillmonger. You're going to run in the back of the bus. You're going to run into all these other channels. Cat, not Williams. You're going to run into these other channels because we were covering the news on that. That's how that works. Same thing with Recast the Channel, whatever you watch. If I literally looked up how to be able to barbecue a leg of lamb last night. Did not know that I'm gonna have to go through 3 hours of cooking with that joker. But yeah, do you know every channel that I could never heard of in my life? That's what it kept feeding me, how to be able to cook a leg of lamb. That's how it works. So you have to know, you guys still make us who we are. This is why I thank you guys every day that you guys come on, that you guys watch our videos and stuff like that, because you're the ones who make us. You know what I'm saying? Truth be told. So I don't get mad. I get mad because they like, oh, they're beneath me. You know what I'm saying? Or their subscriber account is not good enough. And I'm like, okay, do you see their body of work? Like, if I stopped doing live streams and made these straight videos, trust and believe these reaction videos will get more, because YouTube rewards you for videos. They do not reward you for live streams. Unless you're a Kevin Samuels or something that did. He still had to build up his channel through videos. That's why sometimes these are harder. Live streaming is harder. Even Birdman would tell you, live streaming, doing live reaction videos is harder because you're doing it on the fly. So you have to be on top of your game. You got to be mentally thinking to be able to combat a lot of this nonsense that's going on. You know what I mean? Now, if I was to sit up here and do reaction videos and just do them as videos, trust and believe, I'll be at 20K next year. Like, seriously, that's how it works. But nobody takes that part into consideration because they don't know how YouTube actually works. Let me keep going. I'm going off on a tangent. Well, I got all day.
Oh, let me, the Birdman, answer this super chat.
Warrior, Faith Warrior.
I don't think Drinker is running scared because of my videos. Not in isolation anyway.
What's up, Wavy Things?
No, it's clear that Drinker has no intention of responding to any criticism because that has the potential to threaten his business model. It's similar to the Wizard of Oz. There's a man behind the curtain, and acknowledging someone talking about the man behind the curtain makes that criticism real in the mind of his followers.
Fact.
Ignoring that criticism prevents the majority of his audience from even knowing the criticism exists. That's why he doesn't respond.
Facts. It's the easiest way to not respond. That's why they tell you, just ignore them. Just ignore them. They'll go away if you ignore them. Sometimes the shouts get so loud that you can't help but you gotta address it one day. Hero Culture, thank you so very much for the $5 super chat. Critical Staker most definitely knows Birdman exists and won't acknowledge him, though he would imply taking accountability for his bigoted actions. Facts. Let me go ahead. Let me hook you up. Do I got some biscuit? I got some buttery biscuit. Yes, I do.
You are truly amazing. Thank you for your super chat.
The one thing that Tyrone Magnus messed up with on that video that he did with what he did on Supergirl was to admit people called him a grifter. All you had to do was STFU. That's all you had to do is FTFU, and you wouldn't have to worry about somebody responding and be like, well, yeah, you are. And here's why. You're leaving yourself open to criticism that really you can't take. You can't take the criticism because you don't know how to respond to the criticism. And not in a proper way where not only your audience understand, but the people who's not your audience understands.
So it's not that he's scared of me in particular. He's afraid of losing his audience, which he definitely would if he engaged people criticizing his ideas or got into some type of debate. I briefly spoke about this in a live stream.
If I met any grifter in person, what's the first thing I'm doing? Nothing.
That's weird, man. What you gonna do? Beat him up? What is this? A kung fu movie? Let's beat him up. Birdman's face is hilarious right there, because I actually feel him. If I met Tyrone Magnus or anything, I'm not gonna do anything to him. I don't want him to do anything to me physically. That's stupid. Just because I disagree with the way that they go about things doesn't mean I want to. Let me explain this. I vehemently disagree with a lot of stuff Charlie Kirk said. I would not lay a finger on that dude, and I really hate what happened to him. This is the honest to God's truth. I really hate what happened to him. Because we can vehemently disagree with somebody, and we don't have to harm them. This is the honest to God's truth. There's a lot of things that I didn't agree with. As much as I talk about Kevin Samuels, there was a lot of things that I disagreed with how he went about business. Just God's honest truth. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's the entertainment value and stuff like that, but I disagree with, how he went about things. Just like people disagree with me on how I go about things. Like when I talk about Ryan Coogler, I'm just talking about what I think in my own conspiracy theory. I'm not saying I'm right, but somebody who's maybe a big Ryan Coogler fan might come to me and be like, hey man, why you talk about a black man like that? The black man, and black man me to death. And where I'm coming from is just a thought, a hypothesis based on certain criteria or certain things that I have read and I have saw that's going to give me the logical thinking point to make me believe that he may be doing this because, you know what I mean? And not because of this, of what he's saying. And here is the logical evidence that I can conclude to my thought. So it's not just, I'm just saying this just to be saying it. There are a lot of logical thought process that goes along with that to make me believe that. If I seen Critical Drinker, Geeks and Gamers, Eric July, Tyrone Magnus, Mayor McNugget, or any of those people, I mean, we don't go beat them up as long as they if they ain't got that same energy out in the streets that they do on that YouTube, keep it on YouTube. Is all I'm saying. I wouldn't engage with these people. What for? You know what I'm saying? Unless they're having a panel and then I can't be able to debate. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. We have to get it to the point where we can disagree with somebody and still debate them. There's a lot of things I don't agree with Dr. Umar that I would love to debate him about, but that doesn't mean I want something to happen to Dr. Umar. I don't want Dr. Umar to get beat up because I paid $5 for a school that I still ain't seen been built yet. That's just an L on my $5. You know what I mean? But I'm not about to. Well, come on, man. We gotta start acting like. Let me just put it like this. We have to get into the fact that we might disagree with them. We might not like the way that they move, but this is still America, and they still have a right to free speech, because I'm a very big component of free speech. With that being said, I'm also a big component of, those words can result to action. I'm not saying I would do it. I'm not saying anybody else should do it. But hey, what you put out there in the atmosphere, baby, you got to eat that. You know what I mean? And sometimes you got to taste that biscuit. I'm just saying. Charles, what's going on? Good morning, good morning, good morning.
I don't know what you want me to do. Argue with these morons in public? They don't want no smoke with me. Not that type of smoke. Not real life smoke. I don't think grifters in general want to argue their positions.
They don't.
I think they're pussies.
Facts. I agree with that.
And I mean like in a debate. Now, I don't like debating because I think of it as pageantry. it's a popularity contest. It's, oh, you know, this guy has more followers than you, therefore they won the argument. This is how people actually think.
I agree with him 100%. I agree with him 100%.
I'm not joking. People come to my channel all the time. Oh, they have more followers than you. That must mean they're right. They literally say that.
Yep.
So what's the point? What would be the point of a debate? You know, that's my perspective.
I agree with them.
But their perspective, they don't want to debate because they know that their ideas can't stand up to scrutiny in real time.
Facts.
They know that.
And they
so they would,
and again, they know who to debate. One thing, when I found out about Charlie Kirk, now I'm not trying to make this about Charlie Kirk, but I'm using him as an example. When I seen who Charlie Kirk was debating, I was out. This is before anything ever happened to that dude. And it was because when he was at some college and he was debating college students. I'm like, debate actual people in politics, actual people that know what the hell they're talking. Not saying that kids in college don't know what they're talking about, but you're 30-some years old and you're talking to some 19-year-old that is just trying to figure out, you know, how this thing works. But you're not going to debate anybody that's your age or on that same level as you. So you could be able to get an accurate debate with somebody who thinks and is as intellectual as you. Most of them don't do it. You don't see, what's the cat for Fresh and Fit? Myra would get destroyed. Myra would get destroyed. I guess that's a kid's name or whatever. The dude would get destroyed just based on who you're debating. You can't even debate some of these kids. You're dead. Why would you go to college court? That's easy pickings. Why ain't you going out on the street saying that same ideology to grown folks? Won't you go downtown LA, set up a little booth, and you debate grown folks right then and there and see how that works out? Just saying. I'm just saying.
Never do it. They have no reason to do it because if they got exposed in real time, well, there goes the grift. Yep. It's gone. It's over.
Yep. The veil.
They can ignore me. You know, they can ignore my videos.
Yep. And he's right. The veil comes off. And you hate to see when the veil comes off. You're like, she was so pretty. Like, she's ugly. And that's exactly what's going to happen when a lot of these guys debate people in real time. That's what happens. Andre Ware, what's up? Thank you very much for the $5 super chat, dog. Y'all been very generous this morning, man. I appreciate it. What up? I had too many biscuits and got sick. No taste of biscuits in 2026. I keep telling y'all. You got to use the honey sauce. So when you put that, I keep telling you, when you put that honey sauce on there, put a little whiskey in your system. You be all right. Get it together.
You are truly amazing. Thank you for your super chat.
You wanna be my enemy.
All right. Yeah, Big Shamage. I seen this this video. This Dave Chappelle thinks we're stupid. I watched that. I didn't watch that video, but I watched that dude's one of his videos before. Oh God, I can't. Now, once I start the second channel, I might just do video, like my videos that I would do for that. You know what I'm saying? I might do that. But yeah, that dude, I'm not vibing with that cat right there. I ain't vibing with that cat. He's more like a right-wing apologist instead of somebody who's, I mean, again, everybody has a right to their own opinion. There's a right to their own political belief. You know what I'm saying? I keep telling people I'm not left-wing or right-wing. I'm an independent. You know what I mean? But, you know, they have the right. I have the right to not listen to that shit too.
Well, they kind of can't because, like, it's been reaching them. And somebody super chatted the Critical Drinker and asked him, "What do you think about the Birdman?" Whatever. It's like he's a hater. He called me a hater. I'm a hater for saying that you lied about this thing. That's hate. That doesn't even make any sense. But whatever. That's what they do. They brush me off, and they don't have to engage with me, which is fine. I'm not looking to be acknowledged by these niggas. Like, I don't give a fuck what they think. They're wrong. They're bigoted pieces of shit. Fuck them. But what I'm saying is they have no reason to engage with somebody like me. They just don't. So they won't.
So no, I don't think he's scared of me, but he's definitely afraid of exposing his audience to people like me because we directly threaten his ability to make a living by telling them the truth about him. Many drinker fans that have watched my videos have changed their mind about the guy, and that's what he's actually afraid of.
Facts.
Oh, and he clearly knows
what
me
up, Rico?
with grudges, as this is not the first time Drinker has fielded questions about me.
Drinker specifically stated that he liked this particular super chat. This insinuates Drinker wanted to address me specifically, meaning yes, he knows I exist. All right, let's keep going.
I mean, he literally states he's vaguely aware of who I am in this live stream, which is a lie, but fine. We'll go with that.
I'm vaguely aware that the Birdman's a channel. Apparently, he doesn't like me very much.
Well, you can join the club.
Okay, so I have two things to say about this.
Hold up, join the club. I gotta rewind that.
States he's vaguely aware of who I am in this live stream, which is a lie, but fine. We'll go with that.
I'm vaguely aware that the Birdman's a channel. Apparently, he doesn't like me very much. Well, you can join the club.
Okay, so I have two things to say about this particular clip. First, I don't know who this person is, but she apparently knows me and who I like.
Yeah.
I Googled her, and she's, of course, an anti-woke slop artist with
another one. And it looked like she's a person of some, colored descent. She looked Indian to me. I don't know. But also I don't have my glasses on. So I don't know. But it's funny how they are looking I'm sorry, I gotta call it the way it is, looking for white sympathy. These people do not like you. They don't give a good flub about you. I'm trying not to cuss, but I'm not even an hour in. Well, give it some time. Give it about that 7th to 8 hour. But you know what I'm saying? They're looking for white sympathy. They were looking for white acceptance. That's what they're looking for, white acceptance. And you're looking for it so bad that you will bring down any other race for white acceptance. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. But listen to this. This is another black dude that's up here. I think it's so funny how much all the pro-black weirdos care about white people's opinion. And then this chick puts, you can abolish slavery, but the slaves will still want owners. Wow. It's funny how they say that another black man would call black people who are pro his race weirdos. They care about white people's opinion. Well, when we are brought up in conversations that have nothing to do with us, they just bring us up and talk about how much they hate them, then yeah, I got a problem. That makes me weird. Where we could be talking about a movie and then they talk about, well, it was I can't believe it was black and gay. What? And there's no black or gay person in here. What are you talking about? Why are we in it? Why do you keep and see, that's the thing about these sellout ass Sambos, is that the sellout Sambo don't realize or won't confront the white people who bring us up in conversation that has nothing to do with us. They just keep dap dancing. Do you want me to eat more chicken? I got biscuits, sir. Whatever you need, I buck my eyes and I dance, sir, while I'm eating my chicken. Yes, sir, Lord. I don't like them either, master. And why she talking about the abolish slavery, but the slaves still need an owner? that dude you talking to was black. And his people were probably, I'm saying this loosely because he might not even be FBA, but I guarantee you that his family probably was slaves. And he has no problem about what these people
with a less than substantial following. And that's funny to me because the Critical Drinkers fans always like to point out how much smaller than him I am, like the Super Chat did, but fail to mention that Drinker cohorts with people that are an order of magnitude smaller than me. I mean, I have literally 300,000 more subscribers than Dark Hour, and George the Giant Slayer's name is completely apropos. What I'm saying is, I don't think my size is why the Drinker avoids responding to my criticism, and it wouldn't be why he'd be unaware of who I am. He clearly knows a lot of small channels. The second thing I wanted to say is saying I don't like you very much is an oversimplification.
Because what I'm trying to tell you, these people come to channels like this. Nimes, what's up? They come to channels like this. They watch the videos, then they go report back to their master like he's M. Bison and be like, I can't believe it, sir. I can't believe it. 2 Negroes was talking about you on the live stream, and I tried to stop it. I came in there and I tried to stop it, but the Negroes, it was too much. There's too many Negroes in there, and I couldn't even voice my opinion. And didn't like it. So, sir, they're trying to break down your defenses, and I don't like it. What do you need me to do? I don't like the way the Negroes attack. They were savages, beasts. Don't like it. One of them has a big forehead. What would you want to say about that, sir? And he goes back and he tells him, go ahead. Tell them that I don't like them. They hate us. That's all they do. They hate. You can hate me now. I dance like Diddy.
Simplification, Will, but a very deliberate one. This is what these people teach their audiences to do, that because someone is criticizing you, it's because they don't like you. Not that your ideas and talking points are bad and worthy of critique. This, of course, is exactly what their audiences come to my channel to say. No, Will, you are a liar and a manipulator. I have shown countless times that you are both those things. In my very last video on you, I showed beyond a shadow of a doubt that you had information on a film that you decided to withhold from your audience because you wanted to make a movie look bad. If that's why people don't like you, that's entirely justified because you are dishonest and a grifter. I stopped watching you 3 years before I ever made a video on you. If my content was based solely on whether I liked you, I would have been making anti-drinker videos in 2021. No, the truth is, I started the Exposing the Grift series because what you people do has gotten completely out of hand. Lying, bigotry, and dog shit media analysis is far too normal, and I figured I should take a stand because I didn't see anyone standing up to you guys. Of course,
and I got to give him his props. And again, I got to give Torian his props. Torian Rain Reloaded was like, hey, I think you should react to this guy, the Birdman's video. And ever since then, you know, which I'm probably going to clip. I'm probably going to clip this. I am going to clip it. I'm going to clip this part out. So if you're watching this and I'm talking about this, just know I clipped this part out of a larger live stream. So you guys are watching it now. In my YouTube Grifter series. And if it wasn't for that series, I probably wouldn't. I probably would have ignored a lot of this. But I remember watching Neurotic. It was a couple years ago, and at first I was like, well, you know, he's kind of making some sense or whatever. And then I started watching it more. I'm like, this don't sound right. I said, this just doesn't sound right. You know what I'm saying? Like. So I listened to another one of his videos. I was like, oh, hell no. I'm not. Dude is on this woke bull. I've did a video in 2 years ago about why people was coming there. This is woke. That is woke. Woke. And I told you, I hate when they use that word out of context. Like Cat Williams said, I thought woke was the opposite of sleep. Now I don't know what the hell they talking about, but I know something they don't know. That I've been woke for a long time, and I'm gonna tell them what it is, and they can't tell me shit.
Unbeknownst to me, there were people doing so, but as far as I know, no one of my size, and not with any regularity. I thought I was already taking on the guys who started terrible media analysis and CinemaSins, but you people are so much worse. So here I am, standing in your way. Not because I dislike you, but because you need to be stopped.
There you go. Christmas. Happy vibes.
Yeah, I'm not going to waste any time. Like, I'm never going to make a response video. I'm never going to get into some stupid beef with people like that.
Here's another dishonest framing of the issue, calling this beef.
It did.
This is not beef, sir. What I am doing to you is called criticism. This is stupid on its face. He wouldn't call what he does to movies and TV shows beef, so why is he labeling what I do to him in this manner? Once again, this is because he's trying to train his audience. If he convinces them that I just have a beef with him, then they can dismiss the criticism of his ideas out of hand by just calling it hate.
Right.
It's amazing. I love it. Love this stuff. Otam says, so various reactors and viewers were flown out to see the Supergirl trailer, but you guys are apparently the grifters. Make it make sense. I can.
I'm not a grifter. I don't actually react to trailers anymore. I tried it one time, no one cared, and I stopped.
I think in a world where fucking everybody calls everybody grifters, it's amazing that someone like actually shilling for an app that's going to destroy.
Mahler needs to shut the flub up.
Destroy you monetarily isn't considered the king of the grifters. It's like, grifting doesn't mean that anymore. It means you have an opinion on a film I don't like.
That incoherent nonsense by Mahler aside, I think Mahler is being hypocritical here. Notice how flippantly he just used the word shill. His side uses the word shill in the same way they think we use grifter. This group calls people shills simply because those people like something, not because they are getting paid to astroturf, which is the correct definition of shill. If anything, these people have ruined the word shill. I tell you, it's always projection.
Have you noticed that ever since, and this is the God's side of truth, this is when I recognized it. Ever since Donald Trump got into office, the first time, the words fake news, the changing the woke, shill, slop, all. Have you noticed that they've been changing the definition? And this is why I believe it was a counter response to, the LGBT community defining the word woman. In the way that the definition changed. So in their term, in their mind, they start changing words to fit their narrative too. Listen to what I'm saying. I did not hear SJW. I didn't hear the bastard ass version of woke. I didn't hear the word slop. Actually, I didn't hear the word shield. I didn't hear none of these which we've always had in media. We've always had buzzwords. Thug was a buzzword for black people. When black people do crime, they're thugs. Young white people do crimes, they're innocent young men that just went the wrong path. So we've always had buzzwords in media. Let me say that again. We've always had buzzwords in media. But it seemed like it got heightened. Like the level of what these people have done when it came to flipping words. When we start calling these people this, they try to flip it and try to make it the definition totally what they wanted to make. That doesn't even make sense. While also using a word that totally does not have the definition to talk about somebody else. They're so hypocritical in this in this sense, because like Birdman is talking about, the word shield is also a plant or a stooge, a person who is publicly helps or gives credibility to a person or organization without disclosing that they have a close relationship with said person or organization or have been paid to do so. This is something that a lot of people in shield gets used a lot in the gaming community. Why does it get used in the gaming community? I'll give you an example. When Madden start getting away from actually making really good games that's innovative and actually resembles real football. You know what I mean? Not an arcade version of football. Real football. The people who were trying to who were giving it the credit and all of that were paid individuals coming out saying this is the greatest game of all times, yada yada yada, and people start finding out this guy gets paid by EA to say said things. That's what a shield is. You know what I mean? And when we're using grifter, media grifter, and we're using it in the right definition, these people would change the words to make it so their audience, you know, can say, well, that's not what it means. You're the grifter. All right, if you ask these people, this is the definition. How are you using it? Well, it doesn't matter now. I can use the word however I want to. So don't get mad when left-wing people that are trans use the word when they say that they're a woman. You can't get mad, because if you think they're using the definition wrong, well, damn it, so are you. So you're no better than them. That's just the way I look at it. If you go call a duck, don't call a duck a squirrel, and then get mad when the duck calls you a duck, and you're not one. Just saying. And then Robin D, thank you so very much. She just gifted 10 memberships. To be part of Magnificent Crew. So thank you so very much, Robin D, for the 10 memberships. Let's go. You know I got to do it.
Super chat, body roll.
Thank you so very much for the memberships. I appreciate you. All right, let's keep going.
From this side, it's unbelievable. I have actually defined grifter or media grifter in multiple videos at this point, and I have stuck by that definition. Everyone that I have called a grifter has fit that definition, and I have, in public and private, refused to call people grifters when they do not fit the definition I have given. So even if there are people that call others grifters for not liking something they like, don't apply that shit to me, because I have not done that. And if
facts, and that's why I said, when I did the reaction video to Snarky J, I said she does not give to me. Now, she hangs with Critical Drinker, and to me, if you could be guilty by association too. You know what I mean? You know, but also in the same instance, you know, you're totally different than Drinker. You got two totally different platforms. My thing was, when I watched that video, she seemed like more of a fan that, you know, that wanted to see certain things than an actually grifter that is just shitting on something they haven't seen yet or any of that. You know what I'm saying? And then selling it to their audience like, what's her name? Joester Balls or whatever her name is, you know, just saying something that's crap, something that's this, something that's slop, something that's woke, something that's DEI, all of this other crap without actually watching the movie for itself.
you don't like my truncated definition of a
and
media
I probably
grifter,
won't. What's
consider
up, Ron?
Wikipedia's page on the topic. A grifter is essentially a scammer, and a scam is an attempt to defraud someone after first gaining their trust. I proved, with zero room for interpretation, that the Critical Drinker withheld information from his audience in my very last Exposing the Grift video. He was told by his own friend how Supergirl's powers work at least a day before releasing a video shitting on the Supergirl trailer for apparently violating how her powers work.
Well, yeah, why does she need to take a spaceship to get places when she can just literally fly wherever she wants to go?
So, all right. So if she is in a place that has a red sun, she probably will not have her power set, right? So that's why her Kryptonian physiology, which would not prevent her from getting drunk in one place, might allow her to get drunk in a different place because that yellow sun isn't activating her cells.
That's tremendously helpful from a writing point of view, isn't it? Because then you could.
And he didn't even care. In the comics, it has been like that for the super people, Supergirl, Superboy, Superman. You know what I'm saying? Super soldiers. You know what I'm saying? Super drink, super soft, whatever. But it didn't matter because it didn't fit the narrative. Let me repeat. He did not care because it did not fit the narrative. If he agrees with that, it goes against the narrative that he pushes. Again, this is what media grift does. When you listen to a politician and they are talking about crime and they keep bringing up how black people are committing the most crimes in America, and then you go out and have someone say, no, 50% of the crimes are done by white Americans because they're the majority, and they say, well, it don't matter, black people still doing all the crimes. They are literally lying to you and ignoring the actual facts to fit a narrative. And that is what Birdman is doing. He is pointing out when they have an opportunity to know the truth, it don't matter. I got to push this narrative. That is the problem.
Just have her be a normal person.
A few moments later.
Quirky, pseudo-retro science fiction gags? Don't worry, we've got you covered. Because clearly when you have the ability to fly and travel through space, a bus is the natural choice for getting around.
Exactly. A choice is a natural choice for getting around. Shut up.
Huh?
He then went on to admit he'd never read a comic on Supergirl, blatantly admitting he has no true knowledge of the character from the source material.
Has anyone read the superhero?
Exactly.
That's right, the Superguard comic books?
No.
Huh?
Even if you think I hate the Critical Drinker and that every other video I've ever released on the guy was bullshit because of that hatred, that specific instance proved that he's a grifter by anyone's definition.
Facts. Like, seriously, facts. It's not that, it is funny, it's not that Birdman is just doing this just to be doing it. Again, he has a lot of other things he could be doing. Mavic 77 Defender, what's up? There's a lot of things he could be doing. I don't think he'd just be doing this just for the hell of it if he didn't like a guy. Right? But the simple fact is that he's putting B to A. They can't stand that. Because again, if you drop the veil, then you know what the person really looks like, and they're really ugly. You know what I'm saying? Under that veil.
He has the trust of his audience, and he defrauded them by intentionally leaving out crucial information that would ruin his criticism of that trailer.
Again, Birdman Plus, he had the correct information, but withheld it from his audience because he wanted to make the trailer / movie look like it was made by incompetence. That's grifting by definition. Krisha Key, what's up? What's up, Krisha?
So no, Mauler, it's not him disliking something I like. It's him deceiving people and selling outrage for financial gain.
There it is.
You know, a grifter.
Right.
Like,
I think grifting has come to mean anyone who's more successful than me. It's like, oh, that guy's clearly a grifter.
What? How do you get that? Again, just you got to justify your bull crap. But again, that's the here's the goalpost. Here's me moving it and replacing it with Deadpool's head. There it is. He is most definitely a grifter. Grifter! Ah. Now I gotta go. I mean, he says that, and this is, I'm trying to tell you, this is why conversation and again, leadership development. I remember doing a leadership development course in college. And I told y'all, man, I don't know if I told y'all this, but I did my leadership development essay on the little man. I don't know if you could even say his name on YouTube, but the little man with the mustache in Germany. Because I told you, I wanted to know why he was so successful, even though he looked nothing like the people who was telling everybody else to look like. And it was to sell narratives. This is why politicians, that's why I tell you, one of the greatest books you should ever read is The Miseducation of the Negro by Carter G. Woodson. Because he literally says in a line, and this was like, what, 1920, I think it was 1927 or something like that, that he wrote this book, where he said the politician and the preacher is no different because they're both here to sell you a narrative. Hey, it's like, I've cold words. Cold words. You know what I mean? They're both here to sell you a narrative. And that's the crazy part. You know what I'm saying about it, because I've been in both circles, and sometimes you can't tell the difference between a pastor or a politician because they're trying to sell you some type of narrative. Just like the whole narrative about tithes, the way that the church tells it is completely wrong because they act like people didn't have money in biblical times. They had shekels, they had gold. You know what I'm saying? So when you tell people that tithes and offering are not money, it's your first fruits of your flock and your first fruits of your of what you grown. Oh, they get pissed. They get real mad. They get real mad when you tell them the 10 Commandments ain't done away with. That's still there. You know what I'm saying? The law was never done away with. He said, I fulfilled it. I am the fulfillment. Know what fulfillment means, but they play on the fact that they know you won't study. And you will come there every day to listen to what they got to say, no matter what. As long as you make them feel good, as long as you tickle that ear, which is something that was told to Timothy, you know what I mean, by Paul, you know what I mean? As long as you tickle that ear, it don't matter. As long as a politician tell you, yeah, we're going to lower taxes in your neighborhood. Yeah, we're going to build better schools, and we're going to do this and the other. You're going to believe it until you don't see it happen. And then what you do? Just saying, selling you a dream. Not saying everybody.
What an insanely stupid thing to say.
Not saying
bro.
everybody.
First of all, you just shit on your own audience. People that are less successful than me, but still try coming to my channel and calling me a grifter. I mean, the guy whose video we're currently watching literally calls me a woke grifter.
The Birdman puts Grifter to shame with the most low effort slop. Ugh. Look at the way, again, look at the way that these people, let me just show you. Let me just show you real quick. But before I show you Propaganda 101, especially because America is I want to do so. I don't know if I want to lower this or not. Yeah, I think I'm going to start lowering this so I could be more direct with the camera. There we go. But I want you to show, I'm going to show you just America propaganda when it comes to black people, because America is no different than Nazi Germany when it comes to propaganda. But I'm going to tell you right that in just a second, because I'm going to be right back with more of the Dre Mac Show.
The Transformers will return after these messages.
Are you going down? Then you gotta know the best way to go. On the down low.
Damn, you banking like that, and you come over here with a biscuit meal, man?
Would you like to take a survey? No. Elevator go down the hall.
It's you! It's you!
Whoop-de-doo. We are talking about the same girl.
Okay, well, what do we do? Fight a duel or something?
Well, I don't know. Maybe,
My buddy, my buddy, my buddy, my buddy. Wherever I go, he goes.
Now the conclusion of
Like this?
Slower. Bend over.
Stedman, what's going on?
Darling, are you all right?
Stedman, who was that woman?
That was Professor Haight, disguised as an ugly French lap dancer.
Ugly? She looked beautiful.
I suppose she might have been considered beautiful until you walked in the room.
Oh, Stedman, I've been dreaming of this moment. Come here.
Wild horses couldn't keep me away. Invisible robots!
Invisible robots?
Beep, 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 beep.
Look out!
Man, he's man. Not just no Bruce boyfriend. If you cross him, you're a dead man. You heard what I said, man.
I heard he was gay.
No way, sister.
Who's that man? He's dead man.
We now return to the Transformers.
All right. I just want to show y'all. It's from the Jim Crow Museum. When people make especially these anti-war grifters, when they make their thumbnails and stuff like that, the exaggeration on the face and stuff like that, I take very big offense to that. Reason why is because it reminds me of Jim Crow era propaganda against black people. Now, this is just, certain pictures and stuff like that from the Jim Crow Museum, but the caricature of black people, you know what I'm saying? How they made us look with the big red lips and slew-footedness and the exaggerated bug eyes and all of this stuff. This is propaganda, that was used against us to make us look just diabolical. And just look at this. For cartoons, games, and toys, doll collections. This is little. My auntie used to call them wood knots. I actually grew up. My grandma had these mammy figures. My grandma had them. She came from Yazoo, Mississippi. It's probably why I go so hard about this so much. You know what I'm saying? Because my grandmother made sure that I knew about my history, being from Yazoo, Mississippi, and all of that. Just look at this. Look, Coon Chicken Inn. Who's going to the Coon Chicken Inn? Woo! I can't wait to get some of that Coon Chicken. You see what I mean? Racism in the kitchen. Longwood plantation syrup with Ain't Your Mama on the cover. I mean, it didn't matter. This is propaganda. Now, if you was growing, and this is why some things when white people are racist, sometimes I blame them, and then I don't, because look how much we've been propagated against to make you think this is how we are. You know what I mean? You if you hear it enough, you will believe it. And it's just ignorance. Until you get out of your ignorance and realize this is what they did to us. This is Red Time Records. Move them niggers north. This is a Colonel Sharecropper. This is it's a record. And this is why I tell people you gotta watch your own image. You got to take control of your own image, because what they do now is propagate us. And a lot of us, we'll just do it ourselves. We'll buck dance and do all of that for, you know what I'm saying, for clicks and likes online. We'll go in, put chicken and bug eyed and mouth all wide and be dancing big as hell. Y'all know who I'm talking about. And not understanding the propaganda that went against us. Not really understanding that. Look at this. Chop Blackie. This is an import. And they're selling this all over the world to different people. And they wonder why some people treat us the way that they do, because they don't know, because this is what they've been fed. I actually wanted to go to the Jim Crow Museum too. So sometimes I just watch it, because when they do certain things like this, exaggerating the face, the eyes, making it, you know what I mean? Just saying, it's propaganda. It's propaganda.
Grifter. So thanks for the ammunition to use against this fruitcake, Will. Appreciate it. And if you're wondering, yes, this is the thumbnail he's using to attempt to make me look less attractive, which is what these types always do. I mean, you've seen the ugly Daisy Ridley and Rachel Zegler thumbnails when these women are actually very beautiful. He's based this thumbnail on this image of me, and you can see the clear exaggeration of my features from this racist, obsessed little bitch.
Thank you. I was wondering if he was going to point it out. Because again, I know my history. So when I see certain things like this, they did it with Ironheart. And that's why I went against a grifter who blocked me. Good. You know what I mean? Good. Because he didn't want to smoke no way. But when I seen the exaggeration on her face and her eyes, and it was calling it slop, and you didn't even watch it, I mean, but then you being black, characterizing another black person like this, it's wild to me.
Who's too afraid to appear on camera, probably because he looks exactly what you think he looks like. Anyway, this is, again, a criticism that doesn't apply to me. I have videos on people much smaller than me, like Ranting for Vengeance, Jester Bell, Atreus, Smudboy, and Shohei Kondo, the person we're going to get to in just a bit. You can combine all those people I just named, and I'd still have nearly 100,000 more subscribers.
What was I called? Jester Bell?
They are objectively less successful than me, and yet I've criticized all of them in this series. So no, Will, grifter does not mean people that are more successful than me. Grifter means grifter.
No, I think it's grifting is anybody who doesn't agree with you. I don't even think it's more successful. I think it's just,
we just managed to prove it doesn't have
a
any
different stance.
Every definition you can imagine, it's all there for you.
No, it's not, because people will say that they always say, especially Tyrone Magnus fans, you just don't like him because he disagrees with you. You just don't. Just because he don't like something, you gonna call him a grifter? That's not why I'm calling him one. That's not why I'm calling him one. But this is the excuse, because again, you hear it enough times, you just start repeating it. How many times have you met someone who just repeated what somebody else said, and then you question them? Well, where did you get that from? Is that your thoughts? No, you're just repeating somebody else's thoughts as your own. That's it.
This just proves that you all have no concept of what that word means. Usually when people call someone a grifter, they are almost always referring to the same pool of people, like Nerdrotic, Tyrone Magnus, Smash JT, Yellow Flash, and The Quartering. All of those people share common characteristics. They're all anti-woke content creators that lie and manipulate to stoke outrage. So even if a person couldn't articulate exactly what a grifter is definitionally, they definitely know what they look like and how they behave. Look at a Yellow Flash thumbnail. Compare this to a Ryan Kinnell thumbnail. Compare that to a Geeks and Gamers thumbnail. Compare that to a Nerdrotic thumbnail. Do you see the pattern?
Exactly. Exactly.
People are calling these people grifters because they don't know what grifting means. So that's the end of the clip from the live stream, and the loser that's making this video is going to now inject a clip from me. Let's take a listen.
Means something new to every person.
According to this person and people like him, I am responsible for people labeling content creators grifters because they don't like something we like. I am really tired of this mischaracterization of my position, as I've literally never criticized anyone for not liking something that I like. This is true. My videos in the Exposing the Grift series are not based on whether I liked the media property we are discussing.
Fact.
I get involved when I can show people are
Michael
lying
Johnson?
or manipulating, like how in the Critical Drinker's Predator review, he said that Yautja Prime and Ginna look exactly alike when they do not.
The movie kicks off on the Predator homeworld, which funnily enough looks almost exactly like the other planet where the bulk of this film takes place. Hats off for the imaginative environmental design, chaps. Anyway, for that reason, I'm going to call it...
And that's why he used the bootleg version of the movie.
Generic alien planet number 1, because that's all it is.
So you see, the criticism is not based on a subjective value judgment, but exposing the grifting being done by those like the Critical Drinker. Now, how does low IQ cinema take this?
Very interesting. Go on, I'm listening.
Black people kind of like hip hop. Well, real black people and not the trash pandas that you know.
He's so silly. He's so silly.
Do you see what I mean about the dishonest framing of my work by these people?
Oh, God.
This quote was taken out of its context by this moron and used for various purposes.
And
this time to show me apparently criticized.
And have you noticed what a lot of these grifters are taking clips? They will take you out of context and use a clip to try to be funny. Remember, what was the kid's name that did that like 8-hour stream on me or something on my video? And he was like, I'm just trying to be funny like the Birdman. The Birdman's trying to be funny. Why can't I be funny? What you did was you took a clip out of context and then you try to put something funny, relatable, to it to make fun of the clip, without any criticism to said clip. Like, just because you put a little funny, South Park, clip in front of it or whoever to try to get your point across, it still doesn't get to the point, because what are you actually criticizing and why are you not taking it in context? That's why I like doing this live, so we can watch the whole entire thing in its entirety and put it into context.
Someone for disliking something I like. Before I show the full context of that clip, even in this out of context moment, this is not criticizing someone for disliking something I like. I mean, there is no actual criticism here, just an offhand joke I made about house Negroes and their attempt to distance themselves from black culture to appease white people.
Yes.
Which is pretty funny in Atreus's case because he can barely read.
A person's attractiveness, cultural, cognitive, evolutionary, and overgeneralization explanations have been offered to explain why we find certain people attractive, whereas the evolutionary explanation predicts that the impressions associated with the halo effect will be accurate.
You sound like me when I read.
But what I am talking about here is respectability politics, which is something members of marginalized communities engage in to curry favor with the majority community.
That's the big thing. I always forget is respectability. I can't even talk because the dude respectability politics. There we go. And I ain't gonna lie, I used to read like that. I'm not gonna joke with you. Respectability politics, something that I clearly have noticed a lot on social media in the last, I want to say, 6 years. It's been a rise of black people really trying to disassociate themselves as much as possible from black people that are black. And what I mean by that is saying, well, black women are just loud, and that's the reason why I wanted to. They're loud, they're obnoxious. I don't want to date them. You know, I got something to say about black women. Why you got a shiny white woman on your arm? And again, I don't care if somebody dates outside of their race. I don't. You take that up with Dr. Umar. You ain't got to take that up with Dre Mack. I don't care. I've also noticed there's a lot of these cats that will get online and say the most ridiculous things, period, just to please white people, man. And I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. What are they giving you? More biscuits? Are they giving you biscuits? Give them a biscuit, boy. Oh.
This is particularly rampant in the black community, of which I happen to be a member, something the loser that created this video seems to not take into account, which is strange because this is the idiot that thinks it's racist for a black man to refer to another black man as a house nigga, which he tried in this terrible ass video. Yeah, this Fruit Loop has a lot of videos on me while simultaneously calling me obsessed with the Critical Drinker. You can't make this stuff up. Mind you, this person is not black and has no concept of our culture or why we say certain things. So he's just throwing anything at the wall to see if it sticks.
And have you noticed most of these are faceless? That's why I call that Keto Flex, because I'm like, you're another faceless. You won't get online. You know what I'm saying? And show your face. It was like, why should I show my face? Birdman didn't show his face. Why should I show my face? I was like, because you're a lone line of people that's doing the same thing. Keto Flex, Spoonie, this, whatever that is. Y'all all doing the same things. And there's nothing else to it.
Anyway, the context for this clip was the trailer for the show Ironheart and how the actual racist Nerdrotic tried to claim so-called woke white people put hip-hop in the trailer to appease black people. Here's the entire clip.
Oh, and just in case you didn't notice, it has hip-hop music in it because this is a show about black people. And you know that decision came from a boardroom full of woke white people with non-binary kids who don't live anywhere near black people.
What part of this show is being executive produced by Ryan Coogler are you not getting, you human pack of baloney? You know, the guy that had people crip walking in a period piece set in 1930s Mississippi? And newsflash, black people kind of like hip hop. Well, real black people and not the trash pandas that you know. What I'm saying is this is a show made by black people, starring a black character, invented by black people, and executive produced by a black person. I'm going to go out on a limb and assume all the black people involved with this project were okay with the hip hop in the trailer, my nigga.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I love how Birdman still hits these dudes upside the forehead and they don't even be seeing it coming.
So, as you can see, not only did this scrub quote mine me while I was explaining what I was talking about, he's cut out the entire context of that clip to make it seem like I'm criticizing people for not liking hip hop and am therefore lying when I say I don't criticize people for not liking something that I like.
And this is literally what the media has done. They literally clip out. I give you a prime example, the Tyreek Hill situation. And I've talked about this before, but our local media clipped a whole conversation that he had with his girlfriend, made it about 90s, a 10-minute conversation, chopped down to 90 seconds to make Tyreek Hill look like the most diabolical human being on the face of the planet when he played for the Chiefs. And then 810 radio. This was KCTV5, Channel 5 News in Kansas City, right? They were the whole. I'm going to tell you how this worked. They were the home of the Chiefs, right? Tyreek Hill, a lawyer or somebody, they got the full clip to 810. Local radio. Played the whole thing on the radio. The whole entire thing. And you start to find out that number one, KCTV5 was disingenuous in the way they chopped up the clip to make Tyreek Hill look like he was the worst person on the planet, for the simple fact they didn't like the fact that the Chiefs drafted him because of his previous allegations of assault against his at that time his kid's mom. Which you come to find out after reading the actual transcripts, so somebody actually got the Oklahoma courts transcripts on everything that happened in that case, and basically dude got railroaded. You know what I'm saying? He had freaky deaky sex, scratched the girl on her neck or whatever during sex, and what happened is that they got into it. Oklahoma said that basically the same thing with Jonathan Majors. Oh, did he do this? Did he do this? And they, had him plead no, they was like, hey, you either plead guilty or you're going to jail. So he pled no contest. You know what I mean? And they dropped his draft status, and then the Chiefs end up picking him up. But KCTV5, home of the Chiefs, oh, not anymore, went somewhere else. Then they fired the lady from the Kansas City Star who actually posted and made a whole editorial about it, about how he's just the worst person in the world. And guess who had to interview him once it was all over with? And then she ended up moving, but we all know she got fired and went to Pittsburgh. And now she's a reporter in Pittsburgh. This is how the media works, y'all. This is the reason why Birdman, I'm saying all of this because the reason why Birdman is doing this because these people are disingenuous on the way that they go about their business. And it's so disheartening to know that you got black people who don't care, or white people that don't care about the truth. They care about pushing a narrative. And that's the sad thing about this.
These are Birdman haters. They cannot refute my arguments, so they resort to cheap bullshit like this. I even got wind a certain doxer is going to claim I hate trans men too. So that should be entertaining as well. Speaking of entertaining, let's have a look at something from the comment section of this video, shall we? Black RX Writer says, Birdman said the Japanese embracing hip-hop is cultural appropriation. He also said K-pop is hip-hop and doesn't have a problem with it. This is the chud who says he understands Japanese culture because he visited Japan. So, this comment is based on a misunderstanding and an outright lie, both of which are from my video on Shohei Kondo. First of all, I am not one of those people that thinks cultural appropriation is a bad thing. I am all for the sharing and appreciation of other cultures, and I have been pretty transparent about that. I know not everyone agrees with me on this take, but that's how I feel about the topic. Yes, there are lines that shouldn't be crossed, like blackface, depending on the context. But in general, I am all for appreciating other cultures. Again,
I agree.
Something I am transparent about. So the misunderstanding.
I agree with that. And I also understand the reason why I'm so guarded and kind of shield about black culture, because it gets made fun. For one, it gets monetized by certain people that would not step foot in the same neighborhoods, as black people, and they make the money off of it. They make tons and tons of money off of our gifts, off of our art, off of our beauty, the thing that's inside of us, the thing that's God given. They made a ton of money off of it, and then when we want to reclaim it, we get told basically that we can't be in your space. We get basically told why can't we be here too? You know what I mean? And it's not that you can't be here, is that some people take it and monetize it, you know what I'm saying, and think they're part of the culture and think they could dictate it, and they can't. That's our culture. That's what we're about. But then you get monetized, and then we can't even get the same amount of money from that monetization that you guys get. We can't own a company, or if we try to own something, it's a problem. Michael Jackson talked about that when he owned half of Sony. So it's a shame. It's a shame. But I understand, because we do need to appreciate culture. We do need to appreciate. I appreciate Chinese culture, Japanese culture, you know what I'm saying, Indian culture or whatever. I appreciate them. I'm not about to sit up here and cosplay their thing, but I appreciate what they give to, to their community.
is that I apparently think Japanese people, or any people, being into hip-hop is a problem. And this stems from the fact that the term cultural appropriation has a negative connotation. For context, this was from the part of my video where I showed a conversation I was having with one of my real-life friends on Facebook who was upset at Kim Kardashian for apparently appropriating Japanese culture. As I said in that video, this woman could pass for a light-skinned black woman because she wears an afro, uses makeup to appear more like a black person, wears clothes typically associated with hip-hop culture, and is married to a black man. I was calling out her hypocrisy, not suggesting that her appreciating black culture was a bad thing. The part I took issue with was the blackface and dressing up as Mexican gangsters to represent Mexican people, something Japanese people don't realize is insensitive and racist. So that's the misunderstanding. The lie is that I claim to understand Japanese culture because I visited Japan. First of all, I studied the Japanese language in college. That's literally how I met my best friend. We were both in Japanese 1 and 2 until he decided to join the Navy. In studying for my undergrad, I was required to take Japanese history and art classes, and this is why I am well-versed in the culture. I got a well-rounded education in college, more than a decade before I ever stepped foot in Japan. So you're probably wondering, well, what the hell is Black RX Writer talking about? Well, he's talking about this clip from that video.
So I want to make it clear statement about the biggest point about this topic. We are protesting marketing DEI's historical distortion stemming from their disregard for Asians and their arrogance and discriminatory responses to protest from Japan. Instead of diversity, equality, what was it? Illusion.
As you can see, this person has been consuming grifter content and has sunken into parrot status. DEI doesn't even make sense in this context, and he's clearly misusing the acronym in the same way the acronym is misused by Trump and his insane supporters. These people have, for the longest
I told y'all, it's ever since Trump got in the office, it's like the rise of this type of content that you got to fight against has been on. I mean, maybe it's always been there. It's just being exposed a lot more, or it's being accepted a lot more.
Times said that if you want to include black people in stories,
that's right, Dr.
make your own movie or game or whatever. Now that these people have done exactly that, you call it DEI? Excuse me, this game isn't Japanese. It's made by a Canadian development team. There is no forced diversity or whatever silly euphemisms you want to use. This is the story they wanted to tell. You are telling people how to make their own art simply because it's set in a place where you're from. Is that really the kind of game you want to play? I've been to Japan many, many times. I have real life friends and family there. Would you call it DEI if a game developer wanted to make a game about me, the Birdman, and tell a story about me in Japan? If not, why are you doing the same to Yasuke, another black person that was definitely in Japan?
Facts.
So you see, dear viewer, a Black RX Writer and other idiots spreading this lie heard me say that and somehow flipped that into me saying I know Japanese culture because I visited there. Notice how I never said any of those words, and that what I actually said was that Ubisoft wanted to tell a story about the life of a black man in Japan, and that a similar story could be told about me without it being DEI, which is what Shohei claimed a story about a black man in Japan automatically was. See the disconnect? We were talking about telling the life stories of real black people who existed in Japan at some point, myself and Yasuke, yet they twisted that into me claiming I understood Japanese culture simply because I visited the country.
Facts.
Birdman haters. Anyway, that's going to bring this video to a close. For the record, I don't expect anyone I criticize in this series to respond to me, nor do I need them to, like these morons suggest. I mean, aren't I the guy just making videos for the views?
Right.
That would mean I'm already...
It's funny. They got all that to say. That means you've been watching this. You're getting this view count up, you idiots.
Getting those views without these people responding to me, you fucking idiots.
Oh, God.
But alas, these people's IQs are colors, not numbers. So thinking for them is like trying to run Microsoft Excel on a lava lamp.
All right, of course, Birdman with another Excellent video. And I wish I would have been able to cover this when he dropped it, because I remember I was in the middle of the live stream. He dropped this video. I'm like, damn it. But that's awesome. That's awesome.
Wait a minute. You're telling me the video's over? What? Huh. Okay, I guess so. If you have came to this portion of the video, thank you so very much for sticking to the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that little bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. And if you really want to, you don't got to, go ahead and follow the social media links that's down below. Until next time, I'll let you guys later. Peace and Bob Hire, y'all. Y'all take care of yourself.